Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Tailgate Tuesday, live from Eldora Speedway. It is the fourth annual NASCAR Eldora Derby 150 here. 150 laps, 28 drivers. You heard it right, 28 drivers have entered the fourth annual 2021 NASCAR Eldora Derby 150. Stage 1 is 40 laps. The entirety of the event is a total of 150 laps. These drivers are working anywhere from 19.4 to 20.2 second lap times on these preset sliders in these trucks. Right now, the leader is the number 97, making a one-off entry, a one-off start here in the NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series. It's his first start here. Donnie McBride Jr. in the 97 Chevy Silverado leads the way with Jordan Roughton in the 17 Ford F-150 behind him in second, and it's Bradley Gilliland in the number 38 running in third, with the 2021 NASCAR Daytona 500 winner Brett Baker running just behind him in the 2 and 4th. Jesse Carlson in 5th. The 18 truck of Trenton Krentz, two-time NASCAR world champion, he's scored in the 6th position. The points leader Nick Don Francesco is in 7th. Just to give you a bit of a rundown on where some of your favorite drivers are running early in the going. 28 drivers rocking and rolling at Eldora Speedway, and it is officially the largest Eldora Derby 150 in NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series history. I'm NASCAR CEO Tyler McMurder alongside our in-race reporter Alex Tesdall. Alex, how's the 98 Ford F-150 feeling so far?
Looks driving pretty good. Don't have the speed the lead is good, but I think in one piece and hope for a good finish.
Well, so far you got to point it in the right direction. Don't see any marks on that Ford right now, so all is good so far. How about Tron, folks? The lead broadcaster from Left Turn Broadcasting making his debut here in the NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series, driving the number 3 Chevy Silverado, which is normally driven by Cameron Norton. And good for Tron to jump out here and start logging some laps here in the world of NASCAR. And they're all chasing Donnie McBride Jr. He's putting on a racing clinic here thus far in the early going. The 74 truck has already went one lap down to your race leader. It's a very full, very congested racetrack, and problems for Jesse Carlson in the number 88 Ford F-150 for Steel Horse Motorsports. His teammates is just behind him in the 99 machine. Yeah, that's a tough break for Jesse. He's got a whole bunch of front-end damage to that truck. He's still inside the top 10, but he was further up the running order than what he is now. And good for Dave Marks Jr. to get back into one of these races. He races part-time here in the NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series. However, he has participated in enough races this season to be playoff eligible if he were to go out there and win this thing. Remember, folks, only 2 regular season races left for these NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series drivers. A lot on the line for a lot of them coming into this one. Dave in the 4 for Rockstar Racing needs a win to get into the playoffs. Josh Colm-Diaz in the 23, 3 wins for him this season. Safely locked into the playoffs, having a good run so far. He's up into the top 10. The battles we're watching on the racetrack are all inside the top 10 and just barely outside of the top 10. And there's a good look at Dave Dell in the 99. He's up there having a good run in 12th. There was a big wreck over there involving Jason Doro in the 32 and the points leader Nick Don Francesco in the 24. That was on the back straightaway, and I didn't see what triggered that, but a lot of these drivers had nowhere to go, and a couple of crumpled front ends now are riding around this racetrack. Brett Baker in the 2 is one of them. He could very well have a little bit of damage to the nose of that truck. I do believe, yeah, you can see that the hood is crumpled up just a little bit of air getting under the hood of that machine. Thankfully for him, the speeds at Eldora are not very high before they reach these turns. Still all chasing Donnie McBride Jr. in the 97 Chevy Silverado. He's coming up to put a lap on Nick Don Francesco, who was just involved in that incident just a moment ago. Jordan Roughton in the 17 still scored in second. He's in a spot to make the playoffs based on points. He's winless this season and winless in his Tailgate Truck Series career, but this is arguably the best shot he's going to have at winning a NASCAR Truck Series race. The 24 just lost control just in front of the 17. He was able to sneak past, and so was Bradley Gilliland in the 38, who scored in the 3rd position. Trenton Krentz in the 18 is going to do the same. He's still scored on the lead lap and inside the top 10. We're going to throw it down to the in-race reporter, Alex Tesdall. Alex, what lap are you? How many laps to go in stage 1?
27 to go.
All right, then. And what position are you currently scored in?
17 to go at the stage, and I am 18th.
So you've worked your way up a couple of positions here. So 20 trucks are left on the lead lap. Just behind you is the 15, and just behind him is Scorpion in the number 52 for Rockstar Racing. And you three are the last 3 trucks on the lead lap at this time. Just in front of you is Ryan Schreck in the number 56 Chevy Silverado, subbing for Harold Burton. Good action all over this racetrack, and we can tell you that Robert Lohman Sr. in the number 21 truck has pulled off the racetrack, and he is done for the day. He'll finish in that 28th position. And they're still chasing Donnie McBride Jr. 15 laps remaining now in stage 1. Really impressed with Trenton Krentz, not known at all for his dirt racing abilities. He's more known for his road course success, especially on Gran Turismo Sport. He's a 2-time NASCAR World Champion on there, and he's also the 2019 NASCAR GT Cup Series Champion, driving the GT3 class cars on Gran Turismo Sport. But here he is at Eldora Speedway having a great run, and he's scored in the 4th position. Beam SKP, his teammate, full-time driver out of France, scored in the 5th position just behind him, and he's actually gaining ground on the 18 truck. And a couple of trucks trying to stay on the lead lap here. Alex Tesdall has worked his way around the 56 of Ryan Schreck. The 15 of Jason Armstrong is right there with them. They're scored in 18th, 19th, and 20th. And here comes the leader, Donnie McBride Jr. He sneaks his green Chevy Silverado to the inside of the 15 of Armstrong. He's going to put him 1 lap down here in stage 1. And this is critical, folks. There's not very many laps to go here in stage 1. So these drivers are doing everything they can to either stay in front of this 97 or be the first truck 1 lap down. And while the leaders are wrestling through this traffic, Jordan Roughton in the 17, Bradley Gilliland in the 38, they're kind of catching the race leader right now. They're scored in the 2nd and 3rd positions. And 2 Ford F-150s trying to run down a Chevy Silverado. How about Kyle Bowers in the 20? Full-time NASCAR Platinum Cup Series driver, and he's just made a nice pass to the inside there of another full-time Cup driver, and that is Jason Doro in the 32. A lot of the full-time NASCAR Platinum Cup Series drivers entered this one. Special event. One of the crown jewel events for the NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series. Everybody brings their A game for Eldora. There's Aaron Garcia in the 26 truck, and he's battling to the inside of the 00 machine. But Thomas Kohick, he couldn't quite complete the pass, and now he's got Dave Dell in the 99. That's going to challenge him there for position. These drivers are on the lead lap, but they're not too far in front of the race leader, so they're having to battle each other with a little bit of care as well. One wrong mistake, one bad move, and they could be in danger of going a lap down to the race leader. Checking back in with your race leader, he just worked his way around Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51 to put him a lap down, and it looks like Alex Tesdall in the 98 is trying to follow him through. He's letting the leader open these holes for him, and he's able to capitalize and complete the pass with them, and it's kept himself in the free pass position for the end of stage 1. And I'll be honest, we don't know too much about Donnie McBride Jr. He just recently joined the NASCAR Platinum Cup Series on Fridays, and this is his very first NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series race. It's the first time that a lot of these drivers in this race have entered a NASCAR Truck Series race. It's a special event. A lot of them were given the invitation to grab a truck that was available and and run it in this event here tonight for the Eldora Derby 150. Donnie McBride Jr. was one of them, and so far he's turning the most eyes amongst all those drivers that jumped in for this hot seat opportunity tonight at Eldora. Still Jordan Roughton running in the second position in the 17, running in third, Bradley Gilliland in the 38. Going to throw it down to the Imreese reporter. Oh, one moment here. Jesse Carlson in the number 88 truck is motionless and parked at the inside of the racetrack. His race is done. And that's a heartbreaker. He had qualified inside the top 5, third actually, and he was on the lead lap and in the top 10 whenever he had his problems. And this concludes the end of Stage 1. Donnie McBride Jr. is going to get the stage win. He was trying to let a couple of trucks back on the lead lap before the end of the stage there. And we'll have to throw it down to Alex Tesdall to get the top 5 from Stage 1.
Donnie McBride, PC, G-Cubs, Steven, and Beam.
Wow, good run, good drive there by even Steven and Beam both to get into the stage points positions in 4th and 5th. Hopefully they can continue that run of momentum throughout Stage 2. And Alex, we should ask you, who got the free pass? How many trucks are going to be on the lead lap for this restart?
I'm the free pass, and I'll put 15 on the lead lap.
All right then. 28 drivers entered this race, and we're going to have 15 trucks left on the lead lap for Stage 2. However, there is a possibility some of these drivers might try to take a wave around. Some drivers could have stayed out there and possibly got a wave around. I'm not sure if Eldora gives out those. It would involve all the lead lap trucks having to pit and the lap trucks staying out. The green flag is back in the air. Stage 2 for the 4th annual Eldora Derby 150.
Almost, anyway.
Action all over this racetrack. It's Bradley Gilliland in the 38 leading the way, and he's being challenged there by Trenton Krentz in the 18. It's the 45 of Ayrton Frederick right there with him in second, and it's Brett Baker running in 4th. Pack of 4 trucks have kind of separated themselves from the rest of the field just a little bit on this restart. Woo! Checking in on the points leader, Nick Don Francesco. He's in the middle of all of this action. The 99, Dave Dell, bumped the wall just behind him. He's going to slide up in front of Jeffrey Robinson Jr. and take that position, and they're still door to door. They're all chasing the 38 machine. It's Bradley Gilliland. Ayrton's right there with him still. The 97 of Donnie McBride Jr. is back up into the 5th position. He won Stage 1, and he's the pole sitter as well for this race. Problems for the 74 machine. He's up there against the outside wall. Didn't see what happened to him, but that is Bother Racer, and he's going to go a lap down to the leaders. The pressure being applied by Ayrton in the 45 machine. He's coming off a strong win recently on a road course here in the NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series. That came at Road America. He's looking to capitalize on his speed here tonight at Eldora Speedway and parking in victory lane yet again here in his part-time truck season campaign. He's got Bradley Gilliland in front of him. He's got the 2-time world champion to the inside of him now, and that is Trenton Krentz in the number 18 Toyota Tundra. He got loose, and there was contact made between he and Brett Baker. Both of them held on to it. Running in 6th, Jordan Roughton in the 17. 7th is Josh Colm-Diaz in the 23. The 8th position belongs to the 00 of Thomas Kohick. And I believe it's the top 6 that have kind of separated themselves a little bit from the rest of the field, and everyone's in pursuit. We have a lead change. Oh, no, we don't. It's Timmy Brown in the white truck. Very similar looking truck to the 45 of Ayrton Frederick. He goes a lap down to the race leader, gives way and gives plenty of room for the lead lap trucks. And this is huge for Bradley. It would be his first ever NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series win if he can carry out this speed all the way to the finish and win this thing. There was some strategy used during the pit stops at the end of stage 1 for Ayrton Frederick, Bradley Gilliland, and others to get some track position for the beginning of stage 2, and that's what put Donnie McBride Jr. in that lime green number 97 truck a little bit deeper in the field for the beginning of stage 2, and now he's having to work his way back forward. He made a little bit of contact with the door of the 18 truck a moment ago. He's going to complete that pass, and that was for 4th. Jordan Roughton in the 17 is trying to go with him, and now he's side by side with the 18. Trenton Krentz, Jordan in the 17, Trenton in the 18. That's the battle for 5th and 6th on the racetrack. Jordan's going to take it. Trenton's going to fall in line just behind him. And you can see here, folks, the top 6 have gapped the rest of the field just a little bit. Thomas Kohik in 7th, Josh Colm-Diaz is in 8th, Nick Don Francesco is in 9th, Bean SKP is in 10th, Aaron Garcia is in 11th, the 20 truck is running in the 12th position. That's KB Showtime. Kyle Bowers being challenged by Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 51. We had 15 trucks on the lead lap when we began stage 2. 28 drivers entered this race. The biggest NASCAR Eldora Derby 150 in history. They're all chasing Bradley Gilliland in the 38. The 97 truck is on the pole, and he won stage 1. We've had a couple of different leaders since the drop of the green flag. A lot of different grooves being used, and action all over this racetrack. There's the 2021 NASCAR Daytona 500 winner, and that's Brett Baker in the 2. And that was the biggest NASCAR Platinum Cup Series Daytona 500 in history, folks. 30 drivers entered the event, and when it was all said and done, Brett Baker parked it in victory lane. They're going to dodge the 24 truck there, get around him clean. And that's Khalil. There's actually 2 24s on the racetrack for this event, and that was a mistake made there by Khalil, and he's 2 laps down to your race leader. Two races remaining in the regular season until we start the playoffs. After Eldora, we have Michigan, so there's really only 2 opportunities left for these drivers to get a win and punch their ticket into the playoffs if they need to do so. Bradley Gilliland in the 38 truck, Ford F-150, a strong season for him all season long, comes into tonight's race in a playoff spot, in the final playoff spot. No wins. So a win would lock him in at this point. A couple of trucks in danger of going a lap down just in front of your race leaders. They're going to have to work their way past this traffic before the end of stage 2. Brett Baker looking to the inside there, we saw a moment ago. Back to single file, but Brett was getting racy and trying to get the second position from Ayrton Frederick, and he's also having to play defense a little bit from Donnie in the 97 truck. Jordan Roughton in the 17 rounds out the top 5, and then it's Trenton Krentz in the 18 still in the 6th position. There you see him. To the inside goes Donnie McBride looking for the 4th position, or excuse me, the 3rd position from Brett Baker. Lost control coming out of that next turn. Came down into the side of Jason Doro in the 32, who was going a lap down in the process. And contact was made there. Jason had to hold on to it there. He lost a couple of positions in the process. Throwing it down to the in-race reporter, Alex Tesdall, driver of the number 98 Ford F-150. Alex, how many laps to go in stage 2? All right, then, and what position are you in?
I am currently running at 12.
How about that? You started near the tail of the field, I believe in the 24th position, and you've rallied your way all the way into 12th, and you're still on the lead lap after getting the free pass at the end of stage 1. Is the truck coming to life to you, or are you just kind of getting used to the track as the race goes along?
A little bit of both, and just, being patient to keep the truck clean is a good part of it, too.
Absolutely, you're running a solid race, and good luck to you for the remainder of stage 2 and the race. And moving forward, back towards the front we go. Bradley Gilliland still leads the way. Heavy lap traffic for him. The 8 truck, Timmy Brown, the 26 of Aaron Garcia, and the 20 of Kyle Bowers. They're all in danger of going one lap down here to your race leader, Bradley Gilliland. Ayrton Frederick is still scored in the 2nd position. Brett Baker in 3rd. Donnie McBride Jr. in 4th. Jordan Roughton in 5th. Trenton Krentz running in 6th. A lot of drivers have an opportunity here to get their first ever NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series win. This kind of a race really does open the door for a first-time winner, an underdog winner, and right now we have a number of drivers in position to get their first ever NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series win, including Bradley Gilliland, our race leader in the 38. And also you got to include Donnie McBride Jr. in the 97. Who's currently scored in 4th. You also need to include Brett Baker in the number 2 truck, who's currently scored in 3rd. He's been practicing for this race all week, and he's been logging good laps in practice. You also need to include Jordan Roughton in the 17 truck. He's looking for his first truck win. Trenton Krentz, the 2-time world champ, enters part-time here for the trucks and for the Motormaster Series in those Xfinity cars, and he's running in 6th in this race, looking for his first truck win. So it's been a feel-good day, and it's been a great race for a lot of drivers that could really use one. And around goes Timmy Brown in the 8 truck. There was contact made between he and the 26 of Aaron Garcia. They were 3 wide, and there wasn't too much room given there. He got it back going in a hurry. And contact made between Bradley Gilliland and Alex Tesdall a little bit. They were battling hard there. He was trying to put Alex 1 lap down. And now I believe that the truck in the free pass position for the final stage is Kyle Bowers in the 20, and it's going to be settled between he and Alex Tesdall before the end of this one. Ayrton Frederick, Donnie McBride Jr., and Brett Baker, they're all in this pack as well, and they're lead lap trucks, so there's 2 different races going on in one pack here, and both groups need to be careful. Armstrong in the 15 is the next truck to go 1 lap down to your race leaders. I believe he would be going 2 down though. And Bradley's drawing closer here as they work coming out of turn 4 and back to the start finish line. We have under 20 laps to go in stage 2.
11 to go.
Oh, thank you. 11 laps remaining here in stage 2, and we're all chasing Bradley Gilliland. It's been a career race for that number 38 team, and the driver, of course, Donnie McBride Jr. in the 97, the winner of stage 1. He's worked his way all the way back up into 2nd. Ayrton Frederick has dropped back to 3rd. Brett Baker has dropped to 4th. Jordan Roughton is running in 5th. Top 5 get the stage points. Oh, contact was made there. Kyle Bowers in the 20, and Donnie McBride Jr. in the 97. Remember, they're battling to stay the first truck 1 lap down. Kyle in the 20 is. See if we can get a better view of this group just behind your race leader. Now Brett works his way underneath Kyle in the 20, the 97, and the 45 have escaped. So the top 4 have cleared the 20 truck, and they're kind of free to race for this win a little bit more than maybe Jordan Roughton and Trenton Krentz are, who still need to work their way past a couple of trucks before the end of stage 2. Next trucks to go 1 lap down are Scorpion in the 52, driving for Rockstar Racing. part-time driver out of France, and the 32 of Jason Doro. He's, I believe, already one lap down. He's trying desperately to stay only one lap down for the beginning of the final stage. It's been an action-packed race from start to finish. It's great to see Tron in this race, the lead broadcaster from Left Turn Broadcasting, driving the number 3 Chevy Silverado. Qualified deep in the field, but he's driven his way forward, gained some position since the drop of the green flag, and it's making that number 3 truck look real strong here at Eldora. Good to see Thomas Kohik in the 00 making his first ever NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series start. Got the call an hour before the race and the invitation to jump in this 00 and drive it for Jordan Green and for Lone Wolf Motorsports. Jason Armstrong comes into this race in a playoff spot, and he really enjoys running Eldora. Admits that he's not the fastest driver at Eldora, but he loves coming here and he loves putting on a good show for the fans. Timmy Brown, former Brickyard 200 winner. He's got some front end damage. He's a couple laps down, just looking to nurse it home to a top 10, top 15 finish if he can. 28 drivers entered this race. They're all chasing Bradley Gilliland. Side-by-side battle for the lead and for the Stage 2 win. Donnie McBride Jr. in the 97 is back, folks. The lime green truck is to the inside of Bradley Gilliland, and he's going to take the race lead, but it looks like Bradley's going to try to make a charge on him coming out of 4. To the inside he goes, looking for the lead and looking to take it back. How many laps to go, Alex?
Last lap of the stage.
Oh, man. And so Bradley's going for it here. Playoff points mean the world to him, being a full-time driver. Donnie McBride Jr. is just here trying to win the event, but it's not going to be enough. Donnie McBride Jr. is going to win Stage 2 as well. Bradley Gilliland is going to have to settle for second. Scorpion in the 52 lost a lap to the leader at the line there, and he might be the free pass truck. Ayrton Frederick got third. Jordan Roughton got fourth. Brett Baker rounds out the top 5, and they'll all receive the stage points. And throwing it down to the InRace reporter Alex Tesdall. Alex, who's the free pass truck? How many will we have on the lead lap for the restart of the final stage?
KB Showtime gets the free pass, and that'll put 12 on the lead lap.
Okay, and so I knew it was coming down to a battle between Kyle Bowers in the 20 and yourself in the 98. And it was a tight battle, that's for sure. There was a couple other trucks involved in that as well. But yeah, good racing by everybody involved. 12 trucks will be on the lead lap for the final stage. I believe Dave Marks Jr. is still on the lead lap in the 4. What a run for him. I know Beam SKP, the full-time driver out of France, is still on the lead lap with a shot to win this one. So is Aaron Garcia in the 26. There's a lot of drivers that have a chance to win this one. Here they come to the restart zone. The green flag is back in the air. Final stage time of the Eldora Derby 150, the 4th annual event here for the NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series. 28 drivers started, and I believe we have 24 left on the racetrack. Donnie McBride Jr. holding strong down on the inside. It's Bradley Gilliland in the 38 trying to find speed and momentum around the top side of this dirt track. The bottom prevails for now. Bradley sees that maybe, and now he dives to the inside of Donnie McBride Jr., and they're still side by side as they come at a turn 4. Jordan Roughton is up into 3rd in the 18, excuse me, the 17 rather. The 45 of Ayrton Frederick runs 4th. Contact was made between Trenton Krentz in the 18 and a couple of other trucks, and around went Trenton, and there was a wreck over there in turns 1 and 2. 4 or 5 trucks escaped with minor damage, and we continue. And that's a shame for Trenton. He was running up inside the top 6 or 7 there when that happened. Aaron Garcia in the 26 got a piece of it as well. Meanwhile, back up front, they're chasing Donnie McBride Jr. in the 97 truck. Bradley Gilliland scored in 2nd. Jordan Roughton scored in 3rd. And the top 4 drivers in the running order are all looking for their first career NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series. Actually, now that Ayrton Frederick has taken fourth from Brett Baker, 4 of the top 5 in this case. They're bouncing off each other for second and third. Jordan Roughton in the 17. He puts Bradley Gilliland up in the wall a little bit there, and he's going to take second away, and he's about 3 or 4 truck lengths behind your race leader. Ayrton Frederick was capitalizing there, got to the inside of Bradley in the 38. He was able to take the 3rd position away in the process. Bradley back to 4th. Brett running in 5th. Thomas Kohick in the 00 scored in the 6th position, and that's the highest he's run all race long. Pardon me. How about Ayrton Frederick, the only driver in the top 6 that's not looking for his first career NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series win? Has 2 of these truck wins. One last year at Watkins Glen and one this year at Road America, and running solidly up here in the top 5 at Eldora Speedway, looking for his first NASCAR win on an oval. First NASCAR win on a dirt track as well. And a big wreck on the front straightaway there. It involved, I believe, Alex Tesdall in the 98, and I didn't see who the other truck was.
No, we're good.
They got it back going again. They're still pointed in the right direction. No harm, no foul. Hard Eldora racing here in these trucks.
A lot of contact, but we both saved it.
And back up front, riding with your race leader. He's coming up on lap traffic, works his way to the inside of Aaron Garcia. There was contact made between the two. The next truck to go a lap down is Khalil in the 24. Gonna take a break from commentary, and we're gonna crank it up, folks. We're gonna ride on board with some of these drivers and go through the field and grab that volume knob, folks, and crank it up. break it down. Folks, we're going to bring you back to full commentary here for the final stage of the 4th annual NASCAR Eldora Derby 150 here live at Eldora Speedway on NASCAR Heat 5, and they're all still chasing. Donnie McBride Jr. in the number 97 Chevy Silverado, Jordan Roughton in the number 17 Ford F-150. Running in second, we're going to throw it down to the M-Race reporter Alex Tesdall, driver of the number 98 Ford F-150. Alex, how many laps to go here in the race?
31.
All right then, with 31 laps to go, you started near the tail of the field. I believe it was in the 23rd or 24th position. You were the free pass truck at the end of stage 1. And you've rallied your way all the way up into the, I believe, the top 15 now. Where are you currently running now, and what's the strategy from here on out?
Currently running 15th, and a few guys that think we're close enough to get, so we're going to drive as hard as we can to try and get a few more spots.
All right, then, you've heard it from the man, Alex Tesdall, driver of the 98 Ford F-150. He also drives the number 16 in the NOSSCAR Motormaster Series, the Xfinity cars on the preset sliders on Motormaster Mondays. He has 2 wins in that season, in that series on Mondays. Winless here in 2021 in the trucks, but he's looking to change that here. And he's got 8 races after Eldora to do it. Well, under 30 laps to go. It's been an eventful race since the drop of the green flag. We knew it would be. 28 drivers started in this race, and we've seen a couple of different race leaders. We saw some strategy at the end of stage 1 where drivers either didn't pit or they took 2 tires during the pit stops to get some track position, and I think that a lot of teams and a lot of drivers took notice to that for at the end of stage 2, because you saw the running order pretty much stay close to the same from the end of stage 2 to the beginning of the final stage. The 97 won stage 2, and he started with the lead for the final stage. And now he's in a heap of lap traffic trying to work his way through carefully, because if he makes any mistakes here, Jordan Roughton in the 17 is the next truck in line to pounce. And there's Jordan. Comes into tonight in the top 12 in the point standings based on points. Not locked into the playoffs with a win, but he's locked in with points as of now, and as long as nobody outside of that playoff cut line gets a win and bumps him out, he's going to make the playoffs here for the 2021 season. It'll be the first time in his career that he's made the playoffs. Contact between he and Kyle Bowers in the 20, and they were 3 wide with Aaron Garcia in the 26. They are not for position. They just went a lap down to your race leaders. That's Jason Armstrong in the 15 just in front of them as well. And these drivers having to race very carefully around these lead lap trucks, the 97 and the 17, trying to work their way through. Bradley Gilliland in the 38 is still scored in 3rd. Brett Baker in the 2, the Daytona 500 winner, running in 4th. It's Thomas Kohick in the 00 truck running in 5th, and Ayrton Frederick in the 45 has dropped to the 6th position. He's just in front of the lap truck of Alex Tesdall in the 98. And the impressive thing about that is Alex is 1 lap down, but he's driven all the way up behind the 45 truck, so if he were to be on the lead lap, he would be scored in the 7th position. How about Dave Marks Jr. in the 4? He's on the lead lap. He's had a clean race. He's had a competitive truck since the drop of the green flag. No stage points for him, but he's been running solidly in the top 15 since the drop of the green flag. So is Josh Coldiez and Jeffrey Robinson Jr. All 3 of them are still on the lead lap, the 23, the 4, and the 51. But they've got the race leader coming up pretty quickly behind them in that number 97. Full-time NASCAR Platinum Cup Series driver Dave Dell, 99 truck here, making his debut in the NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series. Drives the number 4 car in the Cup Series on Fridays, and he's in a playoff spot in the point standings for that series. It's the series that he cares the most about here in NASCAR. He's making his debut here in the trucks special event here at Eldora. A lot of these Cup drivers were given the invitation to grab a truck that was open on a team that needed a driver and come on out here and have some fun with these guys. And a lot of them have brought their A game, including Dave Dell in the 99, but also that includes Donnie McBride Jr. in the 97. Can't get over how impressive he has been in this race. And there he is. He won the pole. He won stage 1. He just barely won stage 2 by getting around Bradley Gilliland right near the end and holding him off on the final lap. And here he is. He's got the race lead. Under 20 laps to go at Eldora. Can he hold on and win his first ever NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series race in his debut here at Eldora? Time will tell. And driver Matt Petmayer would love to see it as well. He's the full-time driver of the 97, or he is the part-time driver rather of the 97. Oh, contact made there between Scorpion and the 52. 97 of Danny McBride Jr. He's trying to work his way through these lap trucks as clean as he possibly can, but he slid up a little bit into the side of the 52 there. Both trucks soldier on, and that allowed Jordan Roughton in the 17 to get a little bit closer. See if we can find him. There he is. The only thing is he's got to work his way around these 4 or 5 lap trucks that are in between himself and the race leader, or he's simply got to hope that the 97 gets caught up in an incident, and there's a big incident actually in front of the 17 now. The 52 of Scorpion, the 24 of Khalil. See if I can find him here. Oh no, it was actually Nick Don Francesco in the 24, the other 24, and that was huge, folks. That happened right in front of Jordan Roughton in the 17, and that's the last thing that he wanted to see, because that gives the second place position to Bradley Gilliland in the 38. It gave third to Brett Baker in the 2. They're side by side for that second place position. They're bouncing off each other door to door for that spot. Brett Baker comes into tonight behind. He comes into tonight under that playoff cut line. A win would lock him in, and that's pretty much the only way Brett would advance his way into the playoffs. He's had a strong truck since the drop of the green flag. He's been running inside the top 8, top 10 since the start of this one. Right now finds himself in second with Bradley Gilliland right behind him. Contact was made between the two. Bradley going to take the second position back. Brett slid up the hill a little bit. That allowed Jordan Roughton in the 17 to get to the inside. That's the battle for third and fourth now. Just behind them, the orange trucks bounced off each other. The 00 of Thomas Kohick, the orange truck on the inside coming into your frame there on your screens. He's the one scored in fifth, with Ayrton Frederick in the 45 right behind him in sixth. Good battles all over this racetrack, and these drivers are trying to get the best track position they possibly can, because they know that anything can happen here at Eldora. The race leader, Donnie McBride Jr. in the 97, has a commanding lead over second place, but second place now belongs to Bradley Gilliland in the 38, and if something were to happen to the 97, Bradley would be the one to pounce and get that first ever win. Drivers running inside the top 5 rather, are all looking for their first ever NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series win. Throwing it down to the in-race reporter Alex Tesdall, asking how many laps to go in this race. We know we're getting close.
Either is taking 4 to go right now.
All right, thank you. So Donnie McBride Jr. has taken the 4 laps to go signal. He's got a pretty safe distance, a pretty safe gap in between himself and the drivers that are back there busy battling amongst each other for second and third and fourth. But the only thing is he's got some lap traffic that he's got to deal with before the end of this one. 3 laps to go. They click off quickly. They're on the preset sliders, but these drivers are still pulling off 19.3 to 20.2 second lap times, depending on the line they run, the amount of traffic they're in for that current lap. 2 laps to go for Donnie McBride Jr. It's the 4th annual NASCAR Eldora Derby 150 for the NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series, hosted here on NASCAR Heat 5. 28 drivers started the event, and it's been dominated for the most part by the driver of the 97. He just came around to take the white flag. 1 more lap to go here at Eldora Speedway. The NASCAR Platinum Cup Series drivers were invited to participate in this special event. Donnie McBride Jr. was one of the drivers to answer the call, and he wins the Eldora Derby 150. And it was a dogfight there for second on back, but I believe that it's Bradley Gilliland in the 38 that's going to finish in the 2nd position, with Brett Baker in the 2 finishing in 3rd, Jordan Roughton in the 17 finishing in 4th. Alex, make sure you get pictures of the results for us. There's a lot of them, so make sure.
Yeah, I got it.
Thank you. What a drive for Donnie McBride Jr. What a drive for a lot of these drivers, really. We saw a lot of drivers get up there and have a shot to win this one, and some faces that we don't often see at the front. Bradley Gilliland and Trenton Krentz and all these drivers. 28 of them came out here and brought their A game, put on a good show for you guys, and when it was all said and done, it was Donnie McBride Jr. parking it in victory lane. Post-race interviews coming up in a matter of moments here, folks. Stick around. Let me come back to my screen here. And we're going to begin the post-race interviews, folks. We've got a lot of drivers in here that we wanted to get a word with because, honestly, a lot of drivers had a really good run. We're going to start with Even Steven. Trenton Krentz, 2-time NASCAR World Champion. He finished in the 9th position in the number 18 Toyota Tundra. You spent a lot of time, though, up there in the top 5 battling for the lead with these guys like Donnie McBride Jr., Bradley Gilliland, Jordan Roughton, Brett Baker. You were up there with them, and you made it really interesting all race long. Tell us how you were able to maintain such a good level of speed all race long and bring it home in the top 10.
I think the biggest thing is that OOF helped me with how to run this track like a couple hours prior before the race, and I was surprised that I qualified 5th, and then when the race came around, I was just able to keep up with the, with the guys, and so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, you did a great job, and I know that you're more known for your road course racing abilities, so I was really surprised to see you fly up there to the front on the dirt track, but we've seen the skill develop a lot and very fast for you on the oval tracks, on the asphalt, and on the concrete. Tell us how it's been, your transition from Gran Turismo Sport to NASCAR Heat 5. What's the biggest challenge been?
Ooh, well, pretty much everything down to the settings of the controller, to the cars, the tracks, it's a whole different ball game over here. But my dad, he races dirt track cars in real life. He raced IMCA modifieds, and he had a super street stock car. So I think that kind of helped with my dirt track skills here.
Something had to have helped. Yeah, we could see it out there. It was lightning fast looking, that number 18 Toyota Tundra. Congratulations on a top 10 finish and a stellar run. A lot of camera time for you tonight.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
And moving forward with the post-race interviews here, we have Dave Marks Jr., another Rockstar Racing driver, the Toyota bunch there. He drives the number 4, and he had a solid run out there. I was talking a lot about you all broadcast long because I noticed that truck did not have a mark on it, maybe until the final stage, and even then I think it was still pretty clean when you parked it at the end of the night. You finished in 8th. You were on the lead lap all race long, battling up there in the top 10 all race long. Take us through your race. Tell us how you were able to pull off a good finish here at Eldora. Dave, we're having a tough time hearing you. Dave, do you have a copy?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
We can, yes. Take us through your race and tell us how you were able to park it at the end of the day in the top 10 in 8th place.
Yeah, we just put a lot of practice time in, and at this track you just got to be real smooth, and just miss the cars that were spinning out, and just drove solid race the whole race.
What was the biggest challenge for you, and what line out there through this track was working best for you? A lot of different grooves to pick from.
Yeah, everyone wants to go high and cut it down low. I think the key is when you get down low to be able to hold it down there without it getting real loose. And then, like I said, with the lap traffic, just trying to get through there as smooth as you can.
Awesome. Thanks a bunch for joining us here for the post-race interviews, and congrats on your top 10 finish.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, I was having a technical difficulty there. Driver of the 45, Ayrton Frederick. He came off a strong performance here recently in the NOSSCAR Truck Series, picking up a win on a road course. But man, bringing some good speed on the dirt here as well at Eldora Speedway, finishing in 6th, ran inside the top 5 all race long, battled for the lead really hard there with Donnie McBride Jr. and others. Take us through your race and tell us how you were able to pull off a good finish.
Well, I didn't quite get the qualifying I liked, which that's always kind of been a thing, so I just knew it would be any other race, try to work my way up the pack. And just at a track like this, it's about keeping your nose clean and just keeping it consistent. And once lap cars started getting in the way of others, I was able to take advantage of that. And I found myself up to 2nd at one point, just couldn't find my way around the 38 in stage 2. But and then stage 3, I was in the top 5 for a while, and then the truck just kind of couldn't go any faster. It seemed like the guys in front were getting faster as the race went on, and my truck was just kind of settled down. Almost caught back up at the very end due to some lap traffic, but at the end of the day, 6 to 6, and I'm very happy with it.
Absolutely it is, especially with such a star-studded field and a packed house here as well for such a short track. You guys were running 19.3 to 20.2 lap times on these preset sliders, and you touched on it a little bit. Seemed like the longer the run went, your truck maybe faded a little bit. How were you trying to attack and drive this track? Were you sliding the truck sideways a lot and then getting back to the throttle, or were you trying to keep the truck straight as much as possible?
For the most part, I felt more confident if I was keeping it straight. When I was bad, especially if I was side by side with somebody, I felt just safer in general, just keeping it straight. When I would be side by side, I'd hope to be on the outside because the outside was a lot easier to just keep it straight. But at a dirt track, anything could happen, and my main line that I was running by myself was kind of just diamonding it in, going high and then swinging low on the exit. But I was all over the place tonight, just trying to find what was fast.
Well, you found some speed, that's for sure. You finished in 6th. Congratulations on a good run in that 45 truck.
Thanks.
Moving forward, we have the driver who finished in 5th, the 00 machine driven by Thomas Kohick. And Thomas, it was an up and down day for you, but it seemed like the longer the race went, you were able to pick them off one at a time and drive to the front slowly but surely, and then you were able to pick up a top 5 at the end of the day. Tell us how you were able to go about doing that, and tell us how strong the truck was.
Yeah, qualifying really screwed me. I qualified 22nd. Traffic was a big issue. Leaders were able to pull 5 to 10 seconds on you before you even got clear. Stage 2, pitted, made some adjustments. You can't really do much on dirt, I noticed. And then stage 3 is just 2nd through 4th we're all the same speed. First place checked out. He was running O's, we were running 3s, so I don't think anyone had anything for him all night.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a 19 O's, on a preset slider. That is mighty impressive there by the driver of the 97. I asked a lot of the other drivers this. What was the biggest challenge for you, and how was it working your way through all of this traffic with such a full and congested track out there?
I think finding a good rhythm was probably the toughest thing. You would run 3 or 4 laps, and then you'd catch a car, then you'd have to change your lines, and then you'd get another 2 or 3 laps, and then you'd catch another car. It was just hard to stay in the same rhythm.
Well, it looked like there was good action all over the racetrack. Hopefully you had as much fun driving the truck here tonight as much fun as I did up here in the booth watching. Congratulations on your top 5.
Yeah, it was very fun.
Excellent stuff. That was Thomas Kohick, driver of the 00 truck here tonight for Lone Wolf Motorsports, jumping into Jordan Green's truck. And do we have PC in the chat? Can we invite him? Anyone have him on the friends list? No, huh? Nothing? Okay. Never mind. I did it. We're going to skip ahead, though, for the time being, to Brett Baker. Brett Baker had a strong truck all race long from start to finish, battled inside the top 5 and for the lead, and parked it in 3rd place at the end of the race. Brett, walk us through your race. Tell us how you were able to do that out there.
The racing was pretty intense from start to finish, regardless who was around you. And I mean, I just tried running my race as best I could. I can't dictate what the other drivers did, but I mean, we got caught up in a couple incidents in stage 1. We got that back with a little bit of pit strategy into stage 2, and you know, it's just a matter of just trying to find something to run down the leaders. You know, we were able to catch the 38, the 45, the 17 was in his own zip code, and then the 97 was in a whole nother zip code.
It seemed like there was 4 or 5 of you that were very evenly matched, and you guys were swapping 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, all those spots back and forth rapidly. Do you think that if you could have got free of that group, that you maybe could have run down the 97?
No. Lap traffic played a factor, and it seems like the longer the run went, our trucks just stalled. Like, he could keep getting faster, and my truck would still be running the same speed. I never broke like the 19.2s. I stayed pretty low in the 3 and the 4s, but I don't think there was any chance of us even catching the 97.
Well, at least you're honest about it, and that's kind of the review I've been getting from many of these different drivers during these post-race interviews. Congratulations on your third place finish.
Thanks. Hope helps us for the playoffs.
Oh, it definitely does. That's a playoff point. It's 28 points, and I know he got stage points to go along with that 28-point total, so yeah, it was a good run here tonight for Brett Baker. And jumping back a spot really quickly, we have Jordan Routen in the broadcast booth here now with us, driver of the number 17 Ford F-150, finishing in the 4th position here tonight. It was a strong race for you, man. And honestly, there was times when it looked like you had the strongest truck on the track and that you were going to go up there, take the lead, and walk away with this thing. But it seemed like the longer the run went, the 97 and maybe the 38 as well would get a little quicker, and your truck would maybe fade a little bit. Is that the case? And how was the truck from start to finish for you?
I think I was actually better on the long run. I mean, like I said, coming into this race, I told you before the race, I said if I didn't win this race, this would be a disappointment, and it still stands. Not trying to be the Kyle Busch of the league, but man, it destroyed my hopes. I'm glad I'm in the playoffs. You know, I looked at the lap times, running 2s and 3s constantly, like Brett said, and not being able to run the 97 down was just really bothering me. I mean, I don't know who he was, but hands down to him. I mean, but I think I had the best truck. Yeah, you're welcome, bro. I think I had the best truck outside of him, 100%. And you know, banging doors with my teammates. I forgot Cubs was even on the cut line or close to the cut line. Definitely didn't want to take him out or anything. But the last 50 laps, that 97, once I got up there and I couldn't even catch him, even in lap traffic. I mean, I pulled away from everybody else, but 97 was just gone. There's nothing I could do.
There was a group of you actually battling for all of your first career NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series wins. Did you realize that when you were battling up there with those guys, or were you just kind of focused on getting your first win all on your own?
No, that's the reason I was trying to be aggressive. I mean, like I said, there was a few guys, lap guys, I really wish I'd gotten out of the way, not just out of my way, out of Cubs' way, out of Brett's way, out of 97's way. And I think I was getting more frustrated. I think that's another reason I was losing time, was I just started saying the heck with it and started using the bumper. But yeah, you know, I've been second so many times. Like I think this is like I don't know how many times I finished in the top 5. But it's just I know I'm getting close. But thank God we're going to Michigan, really good there. But I just put a lot of work in this week, last week, probably last 2 or 3 weeks actually, and a lot of Still Horse guys and Duking and Brett, we put a lot of laps in, and I don't usually do that. I usually just show up and race, but this is my favorite track outside of Talladega, and hats off to the 97. I couldn't do nothing about it. And sorry if I ruffled any feathers with the Cubs. I won't want to do that with a teammate, but it is what it is.
You showed good speed out there. You brought your A game, and you can tell that you've been putting in some practice lately. Definitely your strongest run of the season, or one of. Congratulations on your top 5 finish.
Yeah, man, appreciate it.
Do we have Bradley in here? I don't believe we do. No, he's not known to join us for the post-race interviews, and that's fine. But shout out to Bradley Gilliland in the 38 for finishing in 2nd. And to victory lane we go. Driver of the number 97 and his team are here celebrating. Congratulations to Donnie McBride Jr., full-time NASCAR Platinum Cup Series driver. He accepted the invitation. He answered the call like a lot of the other Platinum Cup drivers did, and came over and participated in this huge Eldora event. 26 or 28 drivers entered this race, and when it was all said and done, Donnie McBride Jr. parked it in victory lane, ran the quickest lap of the race, won the pole, won both stages, and here he is celebrating with his team. Dominant fashion, Donnie. How did you do it?
Man, to be honest with you, man, I race dirt cars. So when KV Showtime, my teammate, when he winded up sending me the invitation on it, I was like, man, I got to jump on that. I got to see what I'm actually made of in this, you know, because everybody in this league, man, they're awesome. I've never raced in a league that's so daggone fun, man, honestly.
Hey, that means the world to me. That, let me tell you, we've been doing this for 4 years now, and we're happy to have you. You showed great speed out there, and you could tell you really knew what you were doing. I think that there was about 7, 8, maybe 9 trucks that you could tell really, really knew what they were doing. You got mired in traffic a little bit for the start of Stage 2. Some pit strategy at the end of Stage 1 kind of caused that. What was going through your mind for that, and how were you taking the steps to work your way back to the front?
Well, when we took the restart, I believe I restarted 7th in Stage 2. I decided to go in there and make a few adjustments to the truck and all that. And I knew if I could get the lead, more than likely I was going to be able to win the race. So, but it literally took me that whole stage to catch the 38. The 38, the 45, the 17, and the 2 car were, man, them dudes was fast. I mean, like I said, it took me a long time to get by them, but once I knew I could get by them, I knew I'd be able to pull away from them. It's just all about being smooth, and to me, it's just all about that bottom and trying to keep the truck straight.
Were you practicing a lot for this race? Did you expect to do this well entering this event?
Man, I practiced one time, and that was, I want to say Sunday, I think I did. I ran a 105 race against AIs on there, a full-length race, and that's when I was able to make my adjustments and stuff like that. I knew what I wanted to do to the car, or to the truck, and it worked out for me. The truck wasn't great at the beginning of a run. It would take probably about 30 laps before it would finally actually kick in, because, I mean, I was able to put that thing wherever I wanted. It'd stick on the bottom, and that's about it, man.
You drive for the NASCAR Platinum Cup Series as well on Fridays. You just recently signed up to race full-time in that series, driving the 77 car. What are your thoughts on that, and what are your goals for the 2021 season here on Heat 5?
Oh, man, I'd love to try to get a win with in the Platinum Series. I almost actually had one in my very first race with y'all. My teammate Longshot won it. Flash 9 got second, and I'd finished third. We had the top 5. Four of us finished in the top 5, and then, of course, we had the road course after that, and Flash 9 was able to win it. And I think I'd finished 6th, but yeah, man, I want to go for a championship with y'all. I love this league. I actually missed one of my other leagues tonight just for this race, because I like racing with y'all so much. It's a fun league, man, and everybody in here, I've never raced with a bunch of this many people that can drive as clean as y'all do. I know tonight at the Dirt Series, it was a little hectic, I understand, but I had a lot of fun.
Well, and you ran a great race as well. We're happy you had a good time. We're happy you're enjoying your stay here in NOSSCAR, and we're wishing good things for you. Any shout-outs to anybody you want to give before we go off the air?
Oh yes, my teammates at KB Showtime, Flash 9, Lone Shot there at Lone Wolf Motorsports. I believe this is 4, 5 in a row that we've been able to get, I believe. So that says a lot about our team so far this year. And I'm happy enough to where that they was nice enough to let me come in, give it a shot, and they called me their teammate. So I'm real pleased.
Absolutely. Lone Wolf Motorsports on fire as of late here in NOSSCAR, owned by the 6-time NOSSCAR champion Jordan Green, who enters part-time in the Truck Series with us here once in a while. Donnie, congratulations, brother, and we hope to see you again in Victory Lane soon.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you very much.
And that was Donnie McBride Jr., folks, celebrating with his team here in Victory Lane at Eldora Speedway. And quickly, we're going to throw it down to our in-race reporter, Alex Tesdall, the driver of the 98. You had an eventful race, buddy. Started at the back of the field, basically, and worked your way up into the top 15 before the end of Stage 1. And you were able to finish and salvage a decent finish out of the day. Walk us through your day. Tell us how the race unfolded from your perspective.
It was a bit of a hectic race, but truck was pretty quick. Had pace to keep up with the top 5 guys. Just got mired in traffic and trapped a lap down. But yeah, had a few real close calls, but kept the truck clean the entire race and brought home a top 15 after starting almost last. So I'll take it.
Especially in a stacked field like this and a full starting grid as well. Top 15 after starting at the tail on a really tough track like Eldora. It must mean a lot to you and your race team. What are your goals for the Michigan race later tonight? One race left in the regular season.
Win.
Oh, I like it. Bold words from Alex Tedstall. 2 wins this season in the Motormaster Series. Winless this season in trucks, but looking to change that here tonight at Michigan. Thanks a bunch for being the in-race reporter here at Eldora.
Yep.
All right, folks, that's going to do it from the 4th annual NASCAR Eldora Derby 150. The biggest Eldora Derby 150 to date here for the NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series. It was a star-studded, stacked field, and when it was all said and done, it was Donnie McBride Jr. parking it in victory lane, his first ever NASCAR win and his first ever NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series win as well. And in his debut race, many different NASCAR Platinum Cup Series drivers were invited to participate in this big, huge special event at Eldora. Donnie McBride was one of the drivers to answer the call, and he parked it in victory lane at the end of the night. From all of us here at NASCAR, I'm Tyler McMurder, NASCAR CEO, saying so long, goodbye, and stay fast.